is Dr. Gigi Sabbat, and you're listening into the Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is Keishia. Welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you for having me, Dr. Gigi.
You're welcome. It's such an honor to have you here today. Now, can you start off by telling us a little bit more about you and where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, but I've been in Florida for about 20 years. Okay, and when I got here, I started in working for DJJ with children because I love to work with children. I was working with them for about 20 years too. I was a counselor and just, trying to help the kids through a lot of trauma and things that they had been through. So from there, I've kind of moved on to health and wellness because I was helping the parents learn how to deal with the children while they were there. And that just became a passion to me, acknowledging that some women were struggling with dealing with their children. So once I realized how much I could help women and the children, it just became a passion. So that's kind of like how I got to where I am now. It just evolved into me going through my own little trauma, having some backlash in some of the places I was working, because I was going through trauma and things of my own. But
tell us a little bit more about the trauma.
The trauma was like working in establishments where I didn't feel valued or, I knew that I was capable of doing jobs, but they didn't feel like I was. So I had switched a couple of jobs, in that field of working with children. And sometimes that, that would hit my ego. It kind of would make me feel less than. But at the end of the day, I knew my purpose, and I know it was to help people, and especially children, and that just evolved into me wanting to help women over time. Because I then had more trauma, of course, coming into the age of 40. I came into what they call perimenopause, and that took a very big toll on me. And from that experience, it's been about 4 years of me going through this.
Did you go through depression during that time?
Yes, I did have some depression states. It was one time I even had like a little suicidal thought. And I call it that because when I had it, I was actually able to understand some of my kids I used to counsel and how they would get suicidal or cutters. And it was like, this is what they're going through. And that was my wake up call. That was like, okay, now it's time for us to figure out what's going on and how to help ourselves.
And what did you do?
Well, from there, I went to go take my health in my own hands. I had been going to the doctors for years. They would always tell me my labs were fine. They kind of made me feel kind of crazy because I'm like, I know something's wrong with me, but you're taking my labs and you're telling me I'm okay. However, I don't feel okay. I knew I wasn't okay, So I looked at the industry, the health industry, as in, you pay insurance, you go to your doctor, they're supposed to help you. So I'm paying insurance for years, going to these doctors, and they're not helping me, I literally had to go outside of that and come out of my pocket to get a holistic functioning doctor who was then able to give me lab readings for my blood, which I felt my doctors should be able to do, but they don't do that because they go by a book, But the holistic functioning doctor is like, hey, let's get to the root of it. And that's what I wanted to do. Let's get to the root of it so I could fix me. You know what I'm saying? But he gave me I think it was like a 30 blood panel reading and then analyzed it for me and helped me understand what I was going through. Therefore, that empowered me, and I was now able to take my health in my own hands. I was like, now I know what I'm going through. And then I was just very persistent. I just did a lot of research. I did like little clinical trials, with I got me some, what are those? Some people to kind of help me see if some of the things I was doing was working. So some practice clients, that's what I did. I went and got me some practice clients. And everybody got very good results. And so that's why I was like, okay, we got something here.
Yes.
If I could help women drive through this and get some type of relief, it was like, can I just get some relief? There's a lot of things we can't come around. But if we can find some things we could come around, I feel like that was very uplifting. So I created that space for women once I figured out how to do it for myself. And to me, that just empowered me. And I feel like that really became my purpose. It was like, okay, now it's really time to go empower some women because I felt alone. You know, like the doctors weren't helping me. My husband didn't really know. The husbands don't know. They think it's us. They think we're tripping. We're going crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, if you don't know, you can't fix what you don't know. You know? So
That's right.
I was like, no, I'm going to figure this out. I was really determined to figure out what I was going through, how to help myself, and how to get through it. You know, and I was actually able to do that. And once I created my little program, I was like, oh, this is working. Let's do this. Let's see how many people we can help. That's my goal.
I love it. That's very beautiful and a very powerful testimony as well. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, what message do you have for an individual who has menopause and is also experiencing depression?
Oh, yes. Now that can be very challenging, especially when going through menopause and you don't understand what you're going through. I will always encourage someone to reach out and talk to someone. Never try to face that and go through that alone because it can be very debilitating. And you will go through kind of what I went through, like those thoughts, you know, because you're not reaching out. Because sometimes we get very prideful and we don't want everybody to know what we're going through. Because especially in our culture, you know, as Black women, I've always seen us, we have to be strong. We can't fail. We can't, you know, we can't break down. So that was something that I like pushed through. Like, okay, I can't, you know, I have to figure this out and I got to keep going and nobody can see this. So I became so prideful at one time. That's why I say it became debilitating to me because I didn't really want to go and talk to everybody about what I was going through. And I felt alone, you know, and that was like the, like you're not alone. You know, there are people out here who can help you. You have to open up. So, you know, if somebody's going through menopause and depression, I will always encourage you to talk to someone, get you a counselor, get around like more uplifting people, you know, go to church, definitely go to him first. You know, he will help ground you, you know, uplift your faith, things of that nature, because that will help you come out of it, you know, and then, or you can reach out and call me.
Yes.
I definitely reach out and talk to me. You know, I'm always willing just to listen and to encourage you on how you can get through whatever you're going through.
Yes.
You know, you just know you're not alone. There is help out there.
That's right. You're not alone. And in fact, actually, one of my favorite verses is Joshua 1:9, which states, "Haven't I commanded you to be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid or discouraged, for your Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Therefore, you're not alone."
Yeah.
And circling back to our conversation on trauma, so I actually launched a book with friends and my mom. It's actually an Amazon best-selling book. It's Overcoming Heart Blocks, Inspiring Stories for Healing from Trauma. Ooh, so yes, and so I always say, face it, you got this. I've been there. As difficult as it may be, you can do it. I believe in you. You got this.
Yeah.
And so what you did there, Keishia, is you faced the trauma. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's not easy, you know, but we just do what we got to do. I have my children. I have 4 children.
Right.
You know, and at the time I was going through, I have all 4 children. So I had my youngest one at that time. She was 7. At that time she was 7. So things were, you know, I really had to be more, you know, dependent. Like she was more dependent on me. So I had to really be a little bit stronger and not so what I felt being weak, you know, and I felt like I had to just get through it. My oldest ones, they were more understanding, more independent. But the baby, you know, I always felt like, okay, I got to be there. I'm sure she can't, you know, it was kind of like that for me. And, you know, as I was going through some of the things I was going through.
You are truly a warrior. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, you wrote a book. Tell us a little bit more about it.
I wrote a book. I am, well, let me first go back.
Yes.
My business is called Trust Your Journey. Okay. It's Trust Your Journey LLC. And I created that because I wanted women to know that we go through things for a reason.
That's right.
You know, and as we're going through them, if you tap in and you acknowledge and you pay attention to what you're going through, you will figure out what it is and what is meant for you. And that will help guide you through your journey. You know, so right. I created that to help women understand, like, this is your journey. Embrace it.
Yes.
It does not have to be where you're like under it. You know, you can make it your, you know, like what I did. I turned it into something that I could create. You know what I've said? Create and empower other people. Your trauma doesn't have to be like the end of everything. Exactly. It can be the beginning of something.
That's
you
right.
know, so you transform it, and that's what I tried to do. So I created Trust Your Journey LLC, and in that time, because I went through a transition where I really just stopped working, and that was very, like, I want to call it traumatic, because I had not worked since 15 years old. So for me to not work and have to depend on another person for everything, I'm an alpha woman. It's very, like, it really hurt me in the first couple of months. But I've come to the acknowledgement, like, it's empowering.
That's right.
You know, it was like, no, I'm blessed to have somebody to do that. So don't use it in vain. Take it and run with it. You know, and so in that time that I had, I was able to sit down and I wrote a book.
Wow.
And my book is called Trust Your Journey. It's a holistic guide to easing symptoms, reclaiming your power, and thriving through midlife, one day at a time. Okay, this is a 7-day menopause relief plan. So in 7 days, I give you a lot of tips and tools that you can use to get some relief. So by the end of those 7 days, I'm not going to say all your symptoms are going to disappear. I wouldn't tell you that, because you got to think it took you a long time to get there.
Exactly.
But when you feel confused and you don't know, think about that emotion you feel. But when you feel like you found something that might help you, think about how you feel.
Yes.
That gives you a more uplifting feeling. That's relief. You see, that in itself is relief for someone who's going through something and they felt like they found a way through it, you know?
Yes.
So I created this, and I put my own labs in here. I give all my secrets on how to heal yourself in this book. It is on Amazon. We'll definitely get the link below. You guys can go and purchase it on Amazon. And I hope that it helps you just like it helped me. Okay?
I love it. And you put Trust Your Journey. Very powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And now you also have a bag. Tell us a little more about the bag.
This is my palm bag.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I love this. I personally curated this bag because I feel like, first, let's say PAUM stands for pause on menopause. We have to pause, okay? In this pause, it's time to reset.
Yes.
Now, as you reset, I put a lot of little tools in here you can use. I have a lymphatic brush. Wow. You know, that's good to stimulate your lymphatic system, which is the sewer system of the body, because if you learn to detox, you'll get some relief. I have a fan here, okay? The fan is for us because one of the biggest symptoms women complain about is hot flashes. Okay, that is one of the biggest things that women, you know, feel are debilitating. Yes. You know, they can't sleep, they wake up in the middle of the night, all because they have these night sweats. So I have this fan in here, and I love this fan because it has like a mirror on it. Yes. So think about those women who wear that makeup and they're like, oh my God, I'm sweating. You know, they can look and keep their makeup touched up. It can hang around their neck. It can sit on a table. Love that. You have some hydration packets in there to I apologize. The hydration packets are for the electrolytes and the minerals, because when we're going through this, they get depleted in our body. Yes. Okay, you have magnesium packets in there. That's to help calm the nervous system. And for someone to get some sleep, I have an essential roller in here for lavender. So say you're having a stressful day, you can roll it on your wrist, behind your ears, something to breathe in and to calm that nervous system. You also have some detox teas in here. Very good. I made sure I put that in there because it's good to have those type of teas with herbs in it to help detoxify your body. And then I also put in here a little mini workbook, which focuses on box breathing. You know, because I feel like that will help women calm. I started to use box breathing even in my car as I was driving, because I was a road rager at one time. Because when you're going through it, sometimes you don't care. Right. But that box breathing was actually able to calm me, and it was very effective. If you use it and use it the right way, it will help you. You know how some people are like, I can't. You can't because you told yourself you can't. But if you use it and you realize it'll work for you, it'll work for you. You know, and what else I have in here? And then also the biggest thing I have is an invitation to host for me. Yes. Now the host is, I want to create a movement, and I'm asking women to host for me. I will come into your home and I will educate women that you love. So if you know someone who's going through this, maybe having a tough time, or you just hear them complain about things, I will come into your home and educate the women for you. Okay, and as a gift to you, I build you a self-pampering bag. okay? And that and give you a $25 gift certificate and invite you into one of my programs that I offer to help you get some relief if you need it as well, or you can gift it to someone else. You know, if we're giving and we're helping people, that's all this is about, okay? But
Very
yes,
good.
that is my pump bag, and I'm very proud of that bag. I love that bag.
It's beautiful, and it's actually my favorite color, purple, and your
Yes.
book cover. So yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for sharing too. Absolutely
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes.
Now, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness?
Walking with purpose. Ooh, I love that question right now because I'm definitely becoming more grounded and walking with purpose. The more I've had to think about what I wanted to create and what it would do for someone else, because at the end of the day, it's not about me. You know, I think a lot of people walk around, we're just so selfish and we think about ourselves all day. And that could be debilitating. But if you wake up every day and you think about what you can do for someone else or what you have, you know, not about what you don't have, what you have, that attitude of gratitude, that will help you walk in your purpose better. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I feel like that in itself helps people see you are here for a reason. You know, he placed you here for a reason, and he brings people around you for a reason. It's for you to pay attention and to tap in. So walking with purpose is acknowledging, be aware, paying attention, you know, finding what it is that you can do to help someone else.
I love it. And speaking of, my word of the year, every year is serve. What's your word of the year?
Ooh, inspiring. That became when I went to a speaker summit, and the word she had me. We do like mini vision boards, which I really love. So I now incorporate in my little workshops. And so she said, if time and money were not an issue, what would you do? You know? And I was like, oh, I would educate as many women as I could, because sometimes, you know, time and money becomes an issue for me. And she was like, now, if you got that, if you were able to educate as many women as you can, what would that do for you? And tell me in one word.
And the word?
I was like, inspire. Because I know that I would be inspiring them, I would be serving them. That's me pushing them in the right way. So that became my word when I did that, and I really loved it.
I love it. Very powerful. Now, do you have any last words for the audience?
Well, I would love for you guys. I do have a YouTube channel. So if you aren't able to pick up my book, you can go to my YouTube channel. I go through every day and I kind of help you identify what it looks like, what it takes, you know, just looking in that sense. And I'm going to keep putting more and more things up there to educate you. I have a 20 tips and hacks. I will give you that QR code that some women can scan. These are 20 things that you can do for yourself just to get some relief. And these are easy things. Low cost, doesn't cost you that much to do. That's what I wanted to do too. I didn't want to make it where, you know, now you have to go out here and you have to spend all this money to heal yourself. It don't have to be that hard. Everything I do is holistic and very low cost. Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much. And now, where can the audience find you?
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm on YouTube.
On YouTube.
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, and I'm on TikTok. I'm learning all that. I got my kids, and they're like, "You got to get on TikTok, Mom." So I'm on TikTok too.
Very good. I'm on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. Thank you so much for being a guest on the Walk With Me podcast, and God bless you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and thank you for allowing me to come and share my book and share the knowledge with the women.
You're welcome. God bless.